Wow,
But
that's
here,
amazing.
but here it is.
I don't know if I don't know if I'd appreciate that.
No,
if
but
I got put on one of those,
no, but
I don't
here
think
it
I'd
is.
want that being my symbol,
Because
to be honest with you.
Roman Empire story is that's a totally different part. Because
there you go.
Because I tell you why. Because just like same thing when we talk about jihad, right? When we talk jihad, in Islam, what does jihad talk about? And then
it's basically defending your personal belief. It's defending your faith.
Yeah, but see,
and you can defend your faith in many different ways.
But you don't defend your faith to be killing somebody.
Well, that's just it. Like I said, it all depends on your interpretation then. I mean, because it doesn't specifically say in the Quran that jihad is only that. It just says that you are in defense of your faith. And whatever means you take in doing so, that's up to you.
So, kill the infidel, you read that?
Yeah, it says that in there.
So what does that mean?
That mean, well, you have
kill
to
the
go...
Jew?
They don't say that specifically. The infidel is anyone who is not a Muslim.
So...
It specifically says that.
So what... so
then everybody is an infidel. If you are not brought up as a Muslim, then you are an infidel.
So here is since you
so I don't take offense to that. It just
no, I see. Yeah, and and just like you remember the Pakistan girl Malala,
yeah.
right? The girl who now she got Nobel Peace Prize and all this, and she was invited the other day in one church in Washington, in a black church, and she went in the church and she spoke there and all this, and people really appreciated all this. Now in Islam, if you not a Muslim, you cannot go into their mosque.
True.
So, and here Christianity again showing the sovereignty that, come on, and please speak and say something. And till same thing today, would we in America have given permission to Hindu to make their mandars, and
keep in mind though that's just a cultural thing.
No, but what I'm pointing
out is there was once a time, I'm sure, when it was not easy for pagans to go into a Christian temple way back during the times of the Roman Empire. As a matter of fact, the Christians tore down many of the pagan temples. In many cases, the Christians just took the temples over. I mean, so times change. Society changes.
But that means that it should be changed in Islam too. That they should.
I'm not going to force them to do anything they don't want to do. It's their culture. It's their society.
No, but see, culture, society is a different thing. Yes, you can have culture, but with the religion, when you say that somebody invites you in their practice and all this, and what's stopping them?
Change takes time. Even the early. Even after the Roman Empire was coming down, and I read this in a concise history of the Roman Catholic Church. So, in that book, it even talks about how they knew that they could not, the Roman Catholic Church of the time knew they could not defeat militarily the invaders at the time. But they knew, and they had discussed this amongst themselves, amongst the bishops or the Pope or however you want to look at it. They had discussed the point that we can convert them. We may not be able to defeat them militarily now, but over time, we can convert them. But it takes time. And it did. It took hundreds of years. But in the end, they converted them. And they turned to the Roman Catholic Church for okay to crown a king. It took time. And with every religion, with every means of thought, this change takes time. Sometimes what it takes is the older generation to die away and the newer generation with newer ideas to move up.
I'm glad you said, it takes time, and that's a very good thing. I want to ask you quick that, do you know Thomas Henry Huxley?
Thomas Henry Huxley. The name sounds familiar, but I can't say I'm familiar with him.
That's actually the guy who is called the bulldog of Darwin.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Darwinism? Okay.
Yeah, he was like a, bulldog is that, he take stand for him and all this is through, evolution and all this. Okay. But he, right here in 1809, that's where the first time the term agnostic actually came.
Okay.
and he's the one who introduced that, that term agnostic.
All right.
And where he talked about that, like what you mentioned earlier, that, you're looking for the truth and all this. So probably just believe in some deity and not to believe and all this. So that's where this guy is quite a bit. And then, of course, if you know that Bertrand Russell, he was a big time, actually in 1950 he got Nobel Peace Prize and all this, and he was like philosophy of language, philosophy of logic, philosophy of mathematics, philosophy of perception, philosophy of science and all this.
Wow, that sounds like a book I'd really like to read.
So he's done, and one of the things he did that, he tried to fight for nuclear proliferation. And one of the amazing thing happened, there's 3 people from India walk all the way, went to London, and to join him for that cause. So that was amazing. So he was pretty much also part of Agnostic too, but he started that, metaphysics though. He's the one that introduced that and all this. So he was amazing and all this. So thank you so much, Mr. Dale.
No problem.
It's been really pleasure, really honor. I really enjoy talking to you and learn a lot from you and all this. And I sure believe that, for All Nation, Old and New Testament people, church, they really enjoy that and all this. So please, whatever you feel, send lots of comments so we know what you guys think and all this. And we will ask Mr. Dale again that he'll come and we'll talk to him more about that, more about the agnosticism, atheism, Islam, or whatever religion is and all this, and what further he has to tell us and all this. We'll ask from him that too, and that will be our honor and pleasure to have him back here. So thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
And God bless you.
God bless you too.
Hopefully one day you find the truth and you will tell the truth to the world.
Oh, I'll always tell the truth.
So what you have and all this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.